Hey, what is up YouTube? It's King Dozo back today with my week 2 team builder game replay for the PBO Carlos division. We went up against the Florida Flamingos and I actually can't quite remember my opposition's name on Discord. I will check that out real quick. A Caratopia, that's how I'm going to call him. But anyway, the Flamingos, we'll get into the matchup shortly. As you can see, these are all the coaches. Please go check them out. And in the description, guys, of this video, you will find a link to a document with all of the PBO coaches, both Unova and Carlos division. So please follow that link. Go follow and sub to all our other content creators, Little Hills, Soaring, Trainer Black, the Alex Zams. There's plenty of good coaches in there. I'm missing a few there, obviously, but go check them out. The link's there. It's very easy. You just click on it, and then boom, there's a list, and it's very easy to read. Without further ado, let's get over to. We won last week. They didn't, so I think they're -5. I was +3. A big misplay on a good return where I switched out, or I should have just cursed. Put me in a really bad spot with Gudra. Not a bad spot, sorry. Just a spot where that allowed him to get himself back into the game a little bit. And I was never out of control of that match. I just had to change tact and how I was going to win that endgame. And the Flamingos, I think they were beaten pretty handsomely last week. So they'll be looking to bounce back, which is always a worrying case. But we'll get over to the matchup, guys, and as you can see, my team is unchanged. Lycanroc, Iron Valiant, Lycanroc Dusk with the 3 terror types, Rock, Fairy, and Fighting. Actually, that's an error on my behalf. I am Rock, Fighting, and Ghost. I don't know why I have Fairy there. I am sorry about that, everyone. So that is an error. We have Brambleghast, we have Uxie, Sandslash, Alola Momoa, Gudra, Salazzle, Vullaby, Wigglytuff, and Thundurus. And our opponents, now look, our opponents have no switch-ins to Fighting and Fairy at all. They're very weak to, what do you call it, Poison as well. So obviously I have 3 of my big attackers all have that stab. It's incredible. Iron Valiant was just looking absolutely delectable in this game. But Ogerprong, Wellspring, they've got Quaquaval as their Terra Captain. Quaquaval obviously running the 3 Terras there of Fighting, Water, and Fairy. Probably would think maybe like Terra Electric there on this thing, or even, I don't know, just a different Terra type and take away one of the stabs. But you know what, Close Combat and Aquastats double stabs are pretty nice. Decidueye, Hisui for a defogger, so he's got really good defog and rapid spin in his first 3 picks. Leafeon, Raichu, Clorf, Ursaluna Blood Moon, which is an absolute monster to switch into, so hard. Meowscarada, another grass type. Farigiraf, and Samurai. Regular Samurai, so no spike stuff going on there for him. Now this match, interestingly enough, like I just said, I mentioned he didn't have Fighting and he didn't have a grass switch in. A Fighting switch in, or he didn't have a Fairy switch in. And ironically, a booster energy Iron Valiant, pretty much 2-hit KO his whole team outside of Farigiraf. So Farafari. So once I got rid of Meowscarada and I could suss out where the choice scarfs were, on either Raichu or maybe even or a +1 Quaquaval, I guess, after an Aqua Step, or possibly Sun coming on this somehow, to like a manual Sun setup for Leafeon. So all those were possibilities. But Sun didn't seem too far out of the stretch from, in my opinion, just because of Leafeon could actually put in a bit of work with Knockoff back now and Swords Dance and Leaf Blade and that sort of stuff. And Ursaluna obviously it would weaken water attacks, but I don't have the strongest water type offensively or water moves in general offensively. But yeah, pretty much this game I wanted to start with a breaker. I watched his game last week and I was like, maybe he'll lead the same way. If he does, I can capitalise and get a kill, maybe 2 kills with a breaker, an early setup breaker, or just a straight out attacking breaker. And Iron Valiant was always going to sit in the back and just bide its time, and then cook. That was basically how I was going to think, and then how the team was going to build around it, be built around it. So let's move on to the next one. Is the the week 2. What I predicted they would bring. I thought they would bring Ogopron. What's the duck's name? Quackleval with a Fairy Terror, because I'm neutral to Fairy. Ursaluna. Meowscarada, Clorf, because his only rocker is Clorf, and Farigiraf, because I thought Farigiraf with Sap Sipper was a really smart move to bring, as my Brambleghast on a defensive side could actually be a real pain in the backside for the Duck and Ogopron. So I thought, you know what, he'll probably want to bring Sap Sipper Farigiraf with like Wish or something like that. I ended up bringing the 6 in front of you. Iron Valiant with Booster Energy. I got, we'll get into my team fully in a second. Terrifying Lycanroc. Goodra, which was, I think it was just an Iron Defense set, because Rest Talk set, because he didn't have a Ghost type. But, yeah. Uxie, just the glue of the team, just does what it does best. I'll show you in a minute what I bought for it. Thundy was a Choice Scarf special set. I was tossing up special or physical this week. Didn't really know which one I wanted to go. Ended up going special because he just did, after Ursaluna went down, there was just no electric switch-ins. And it was just cooking. And Brambleghast. I was all week tossing up between Brambleghast and Vullaby. And the fact that Raichu Raichu was the big one, and I could get a rapid spin off, I could use Pounce, I could do a few little things there with it, was the big one. Iron Valiant, as you can see there on my key matchup notes, Iron Valiant 2 hit KOs every morning except a max HP for Farigiraf. Obviously there could be some investments there in other stuff to maybe tank, but that's where I was at with that. Ogopron and Quackleval need to be contained, as well as Meowscarada. Meowscarada was more of a threat than I figured. There is an actual error on my poker paste that I'll show you in a second. With my Goodra, I actually did bring Sap Sipper and not Shell Armor, as it says, because I was scared of Meowscarada and just things it could possibly do to me. Goodra with 2 Acid Armor is just 1, pretty much just 1, because we outsped most variants of Ursaluna. It also was fast, and if it was fast, we tank and I knock it out, depending on our HP. Uxie takes anything, one time, rocks up, T-Waves, and yeah, just does its thing. Just a glue, real pain in the backside. Blood Moon, always hard to switch into, so I had to be careful about it. Probably was going to have to sack stuff around it. Thundy Scarf applies loads of pressure, as I just mentioned to you, once blood is removed. Leafeon and Farigiraf, both are possible setup opportunities for him if I treat them like they are, or even come out offensively. If I let them come out and expect them to, you know, get a bit of the bat and pass and wish and try and take advantage of that, and all of a sudden they're chunking into me. U-turn was really nice. He only had 1 resist on the team. Didn't really have the U-turn team going around this week anyway, but I did have bug attack on Thundy and a bug attack on Brambleghast. If Meowscarada doesn't come, that's a huge blessing. No spike there, no toxic spike there, which was nice. But toxic spikes wasn't great against me in a way, because if I bring Brambleghast, probably going to presume it's going to be heavy duty boots. Spoiler, it wasn't. Thundy above the ground. Iron Valiant probably going to come in late game when it's too late. It's either going to die too late because they're sweeping me and it's going to die anyway, or it's going to come in too late where the toxic's not going to matter. Lycanroc, again, the same sort of thing. It's going to come in and break or start early or do something like that. Uxie, Levitate, and Steel typing Goodra, so it didn't really matter. Now we'll get over to what I took. I took Mindstorm, my Uxie for its debut, Cola Berry, so I could tank any variant of knockoff from any of his mons. We had Stealth Rock, Mystic Power, Thunder Wave, and I have made another error there, is not Protect. The move was actually Draining Kiss that I took in the game, because Draining Kiss, I was just a bit worried about Meowscarada, and the fact that I could Thunder Wave and then Draining Kiss Meowscarada was very, very tempting. If I seen it, I was very, very tempted to run Mindstorm as my Terra Captain, sorry, not my Terra Captain, my lead, and go, you know, Thunder Wave into a Stealth Rock, or Thunder Wave into a Draining Kiss. So that was an option. We move across to Gladivore, the Iron Valiant, Moonblast, Aurasphere, Encore, Carmine. So if you wanted to set up with something, I was going to Encore him or Wish something. I was going to Encore him into it, get a free Carmine, and then Iron Valiant just went ham. Once Meowscarada was gone down, this was faster than his whole team. Flow Rider, my Bramblegast, came with leftovers this week with Giga Drain, Protect, Rapid Spin, and Pounce. Why mixed? The Careful Nature. You know, you might think, oh, that's a Spadef nature. Why have you got Giga Drain there? Well, the fact is, the 0 Spadef in that Ursaluna allowed my Giga Drain to actually do good damage, and I didn't even have to invest in it. Pounce was there because Meowscarada didn't enjoy it. Meowscarada might even be a switch in, and also could hit the Sap Sipping for Rigorough if it came. And it was my Rapid Spinner. I really, 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 really wanted to get a Spike on this set, but I felt I needed Pounce just to hit for Rigorough. In hindsight, I probably could have just gone into Uxie or gone into Gary, and bought the Spike, break potential sashes and so forth. Move across to Goodra. Like I said, I ran the Chocolberry this week. The Shell Armor is an error there. I did run, in fact, run Sap Sipper in the game. I changed it last minute. That investment set up there lets me pretty much at +4 sweep in. We can either Iron Defense or get a big body press off on a close combating or a super pairing Ogre or a close combating Quackleval. From a Banded, we could tank at +2 pretty easily. And that 158 allowed us to, at +4, either one-hit KO an offensive and live with respectable from an Earth Power, and then or 2-hit KO a Blood Moon. Down Under Thunder, the Thunderous. I'm from Australia, guys. That's what the names are regarding Down Under Thunder, because you get it. I'm sure you get it. As I said before, Poison was good against him. So was Thunderbolt. This thing also got Grass Knot coverage. So 2 special attack, Modest Nature, Choice Scarf, 152 attack, outsped his whole team that wasn't Meowscarada, and 104 in the defense. For those sneaky sucker punches from possibly like, off the top of my head, Decidueye or something like that. And Grass Knot was there because he's going to want to switch in Ursaluna. So if he switches in Ursaluna, it gets punished. If he switches in, for some dumb reason, switches in Corf, he gets punished. Like, Thunderous could punish everything on this team, and Thundy was just such a beast of a mon to have to bring this week, and making its debut this week as well. I think that's 3 debutants this week, is it? Is that 3 debutants? I hope so. That'd be nice. Getting good value out of my team. Moving to the next Pokemon, my last Pokemon, Mr. Balboa, my Lycanroc. Terrified he had no switching for CC. Like I said, I watched his game last week and I was like, oh, he likes to lead with rocks in that, so maybe he might do that again. Hey, you know what, if he does, I'm going to punish him. So my attack investment was 200, that's all I needed at +4 to pretty much 2-hit KO, well, 1-hit KO his whole team. And defense was 148, 160 speed, and Adamant Nature was outspeeding absolutely everything outside of Meowscarada. That investment also allowed me to outspeed Meowscarada if it wasn't Choice Scarf, and I had a Trailblazer. So, yeah, the plan was, if he leads Clorp and sets up Stealth Rocks and doesn't respect Lycanroc, I'm going to Terra and Swords Dance. That's 1 free Swords Dance. There's no move he does to a fight. There's no move Clorp has that's going to knock Lycanroc even down to its sash, let alone be in trouble, so I could freely possibly get a second sword stance up, and then the plan was after that Trailblaze. If you wanted to switch something in, it was taking damage and it died into, so anything +4, anything Trailblaze into a Cell Rock actually killed. So close combat was just there for what it was. So this set was really going to cook. That was the hope anyway. But let's jump over to the game. You guys are sick of listening to me waffle on. Quick disclaimer on last week, guys. My video last week, 1, I had people sleeping in the house. 2, I'm sick. As you can probably still hear in my voice, a bit nasally. And yeah, so sorry about that. The volume was the background music playing with that, and yeah. So yeah, I apologise if it was annoying or I sounded too quiet. So we move over now to Cyndaquil POV. Point of view, I don't know. And my team. So what he brought was the Quaquaval, Ogerprong, Decidueye, Leafeon, Clorf, and Raichu. So he bought 3 of the 6 I expected. No Farigiraf, no Ursaluna. Oh no, I did expect Clorf. So so he bought no Ursaluna and no Meowscarada. I was cheering when I seen this, and off the bat I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's have a crack with. We'll play it off. Play here and we'll go slow. So, we just lead with Lycanroc. We Terra Sword Dance. This was the game plan. And as he sets up rocks, at this stage I'm like, oh, if you haven't got a choice scarf, my friend, this is going to be hard for you because I got up a second free one. As he knocks off here now, I'm obviously doing pretty well there at 86%. I could have very easily gone for +6, but I thought, you know what? I don't want to risk a crit and him using Crab Hammer or, I don't know, something and crits me. Or it'd be Focus Sash with Shell, whatever. So I didn't worry about it. But then close combat. So I've got Trailblaze up. I'm faster than everything now outside of a Scarf. The only real Scarf I was going to be worried about was going to be Raichu and I didn't think Quaquaval would be Scarf. So as you can see here, guys, it's pretty clear cut how the game's going. Yeah, it could have been an 8-turn game had he not protected here. But Lycanroc just does the work. At this stage, I'm like, he doesn't have Aqua Jet on that duck, otherwise he would have brought it out earlier. There's no way the duck's going to be able to revenge kill my entire roster. Well, no, it couldn't, because I would have brought Thundurus out and it's dead. So that is the game. 9 turns. GG Flamigos. I really didn't expect that win the way I want it. And no disrespect for my opponent. I don't disrespect any opponent at all, because it's just, you just never know. I did scope out how experienced he was, and he said he was reasonably experienced. So I was like, fair enough. But he just didn't have anything for it. We'll jump back over to the team layouts and we'll have a look at what the Flamigos bought. And I feel this team was very Smogon, copy and paste. The duck was very bulky, Aqua Step, knockoff, so the duck couldn't hit a lot of my team. Like this duck needed Ice Spinner, I think. 120 speed, I don't even know if that's outspeeding a choice scarf at +2. It probably does outspeed it to +2. Ogerpong was pretty much what I expected. Maybe a Sword Stance there. Sorry, maybe a Horn Leech over Power Whip, but doesn't really matter, or a Trailblaze even. Leafeon, that's the PU set, I believe. That's a reasonable set. Did sort of preempt that, but maybe with Baton Pass on there somehow. The Decidueye, again, I sort of get the means behind this set, if it's going to be a hazard removal, if Quaquaval wasn't going to be spinning. Clorf, the Clorf's an interesting spread. I don't quite understand what it's about, what it was doing. He did have Terra Steel on Quaquaval, so luckily he didn't Terra Quaquaval because he had the wrong Terra type on it anyway. Clorf had the Regenerator, pretty Spadef bulky, so maybe expecting Spadef bring from my Bramblagast possibly. with knockoff, Stone Edge, and Sword Stance. So yeah, Lycanroc definitely could have Sword Stance again and made that even safer, but it doesn't matter. Leafeon, and Raichu was heavy duty boots. I think Choice Raichu was really dangerous against me. And he has Terra Water on everything, so obviously he likes water types except for the 2 steel type Terras. But GG Flamingos. I hope next week goes a lot better for him and he bounces back. I really do, from everything I've got. Yeah, next week we have a really tough game. We have the Sin City Sableyes, and I think they're looking pretty good this season. I reckon they'll be very much in that top 4, final 4 fight for the grand final spot. They've got Screens Grimmsnarl with I'm thinking off the top of my head. I haven't got it up in front of me, guys. Screens Grimmsnarl with Cloyster. They also have Baxcalibur behind Screens, which he swept with in week 1. It's a monster. And there's a few other really solid Pokemon in there that's going to make my life hell. So looking forward to the challenge. I know my the boys I've been prepping with will be there again this weekend and try and help me have no stone unturned. But that's it. We're done for the day. Week 2 in the bag, 6-0. So we're +9, so that's really nice for a differential after last week's little disappointment where we could have been +5. So we could have been +11 after 2 weeks, would have been outstanding. But it is what it is. I hope I was a little bit more energetic today, and I hope my audio quality was a little bit better today. I also had a fan on the other day because it is warm here. As much as I'm sick, it is actually warm here in Australia at the moment. It's starting to come into that springtime, late summer, like coming on to summer in a month or so. It gets warm. But that's it. Hope you all have a good day and have a good night in the world, wherever you are. Lycanroc Dust, the undisputed MVP. I don't think anyone can bother with that. Let's have question of the day. What's the question of the day? Oh, I'm thinking off the top of the cusp. What's your favourite legendary trio? Is it the like the Lake Trio? Is it the Kanto Birds? Is it the Alolan Birds? Is it the Swords of Justice? I know there's 4 Swords of Justice. I get that. Is it the dogs from Gen 2? Let me know in the comments section. Every comment, like, sub, I really appreciate. I really do. I will reply to everyone. I will like everyone's comment. And if anyone has any questions or any criticisms, I'll take that on board and won't take offense to it. And also, please, I can't say it again enough, guys. Please go check out the other coaches in this in the league. They've got some really cool stuff. There's been some cracking games in week 2, let me tell you. Can't wait for that. There was an epic comeback from Torterra last week on, I can't remember. It might have been the Tottenham Hoot Hoots. So go check them out. It was a brilliant game. Have a good day, have a good night, wherever you're around the world, and I will see you in week 3, guys.